Since your technique and lines across the lap are already very spot on, the best place to start looking for time is in the track limits, since you can use quite a lot of them here. For turn 1, you have the car very well under control, but perhaps slightly under the limit. Your line is absolutely correct, and I wouldn't adjust it. The only thing I would maybe suggest here is getting that last 5% of the track usage so you can really carry the absolute maximum amount of speed. But the way you're controlling the car is perfect through here. If you can also get the car to rotate a little bit more, usually with light braking, to get closer to the apex on turn 2, it should allow you to open up the throttle earlier, but that will be situational and dependent on your line. Another place to look at very quickly is going to be the S's. You're focusing on keeping a high minimum speed through most of these corners, but there are some places where you can actually tighten up the line to either use more of the track or to start the following turn earlier and gain more time that way. Here it would probably be best to check the reference lap, but I would also recommend watching some of the top 10 laps to get a better idea of what that can look like. The next place I really noticed track limits was the Degner curves right before the end of Sector 2. What you are looking for is to start the corner early and then finish it as straight as you can on power. So the first place you aren't getting the most track is on the apex of Degner 1. Right here, you can take a ridiculous amount of curb. As long as you still have one tire in contact with a curb surface, the lap is still considered valid. So you can cut a significant amount of that to gain some time and also not run out as far wide, which saves you a little bit more time by traveling a shorter distance. On Degner 2, your entry is really good. I would not adjust anything there. Keep doing what you're doing. On the lap you provided me, though, I would say that you could run out a little bit wider on the exit of Degner 2, and that should also help you net a little bit of time as long as you keep it out of the gravel and keep the exit, again, relatively straight and on power. From that point, everything was pretty good until you got to the spoon curves, where it just looked a little bit like a safe run through there. So on the entry of the first turn, just look slightly under the limit. So again, give yourself as much room as possible, starting from the outside to head in to the apex of the corner. And you can also, again, cut a lot of that curb. If you dip a couple of wheels on the grass, still very legal, still okay, as long as you have the car under control. On the second part of the corner, you'll want to brake a little bit later and a little bit deeper into the corner while trail braking or turning into the corner, so that the car will rotate more and allow you to get that later apex and actually get on power at the same time or earlier while getting a tighter line out of there. With that said, you still want to make sure you use all the track on the exit of spoon curves so that you're all the way out to the right. And then for the last sector of the lap, you just have 130R and the Casio triangle. What you need to focus on here is just getting the car turned in earlier for a 130R. So again, you can dip wheels on the grass, and as long as you still have control of the car, it'll actually allow you to get the turn started a little bit earlier and carry just a slight amount more speed through. It's a very fine line though, so that one you'll just have to try and see what you can get away with. As far as the final chicane or the Casio triangle, the main thing I noticed on your lap was that you probably want to start more to the left on entry to the corner. I know that 130R can kind of throw you out into a weird place sometimes. Just try and get the car gathered back up to the left as best you can, so that you can open up that chicane as much as possible. The way you entered the corner, other than the positioning, was really good. I would say don't change that. Your corner entries in general are actually really good. Just that last 2-3% that's there. And on the exit of the chicane, oh my goodness, there's a ridiculous amount that you can cut over the curbs. You're running a very good, tidy lap, but you can watch the reference lap to see just how much you can cut. It's ridiculous. I thought I was going to get a penalty running that way, but apparently it's legal. And yeah, outside of that, you'll just hang it to the right as you're coming across the finish and just stay near the wall. Cheers to you and have a great day.